Hello again, juniors and families. Today we thought we'd share a little bit of context with you about how colleges are doing right now, what's going on with them, and what all that has to do with you. So let's start with a complicated organization chart from a standard admissions office at a large public university. Think about how many people exist in that leadership hierarchy. And then think about, in the midst of COVID, how quickly decisions need to be made. This might explain why, to you, it feels like colleges aren't responding to you fast enough. So students, if you look at that chart, you're talking to individuals right at the bottom, the people on the front line. So who are they? Normally, when you contact an admissions office, you're speaking to someone who's carrying the responsibility of representing their university. And they suddenly went from seeing thousands of visitors to going completely virtual overnight. Those current students that are answering your questions in webinars are doing it on a voluntary basis, and they're probably home with their families just like you are. And then admissions people, on the other hand, are quite used to quarantining. In fact, they've been doing it for most of the year. Many of them sit in their home offices and read up to 50 applications every day. And right now, they're recovering from a very long reading season. So usually they'd be right back to extrovert mode and they'd be flying all over in the hopes of convincing students to choose them. We call this term yield. Almost all of them are receiving pressure from up above on that hierarchy to meet enrollment goals for their territory by May 1st. So everyone is adjusting to this new reality, and college administrators are no exception. I actually took this slide right from a national survey of university presidents, and these were some of their chief concerns related to students, never mind all of their displaced employees. So think about how complex this is. If I'm a university president, I have to ensure the safe return of my study abroad students, quickly transition classes online for students who barely have food and housing, address demand for tuition refunds, the list goes on. So my priorities right now are, first and foremost, my current students. And then that's of course followed with the students I'm trying to bring on campus as freshmen next year. In this case, that's this year's class of 2020. Many colleges depend on April as their big yield month, where they invest millions of dollars in admitted student events and spring travel to try to woo the students who have multiple offers. Every ounce of their energy right now is going toward that goal. But that doesn't mean that you aren't a priority. And the struggle may be real to get to May 1st, but deans are reminding you that they, the adults, are not going to let all of these institutional concerns influence your entry into college. So colleges that were selective before are going to stay selective, and the nature of their admissions processes won't change, but the nuts and bolts probably will. Standardized testing is going to look a lot different. We still want you to try to take your exams in the fall because we don't know what this landscape's going to look like. But Robert, Aaron, and I are definitely going to be intentional about helping you decide where and if you should send any testing. And of course, extracurriculars are going to look a lot different. Our friend Jeff Schiffman says what we already would have assumed. There can't be an expectation that you're participating in activities right now, but that doesn't mean you should be stagnant. Colleges ask students already to talk about what they do in their free time. And right now, you have an opportunity to pursue the things that you love without having to worry about collecting gold stars. I've been teaching dance classes to my friends online. It's embarrassing. Robert's been writing really cool op-ed articles, and Aaron is spending ungodly amounts of time with his toddler. So what can you do right now to find meaning? In the fall, you're gonna be asked to talk about that. What's important to know here, juniors, is that you're not alone. An estimated 4.6 million juniors are affected by these circumstances and another 3 million abroad. So you're not alone. But many of these students don't have access to things like test prep, college counseling, let alone schooling right now. So you are going to be okay. And while it's okay to wallow, we should go back to our mantra of what's within your control versus what's within your circle of concern. We refer to this idea a lot in your college process. And these last months of school will really make a difference for you. Staying engaged and being reflective about your wants and needs is a great habit to get into adulthood, but right now it doesn't mean you need to stuff down your emotions. Just recognize where you have control, and that might give you some serenity in these confusing times. So the name of the game is gratitude. As an MA senior recently reminded me, it's really easy to forget the Herculean effort it takes to transition many students like you to meaningful college experiences. So it's important to be patient with yourself, be patient with the process, and be kind to those folks online. So the ultimate question, should you reach out and email those colleges? Absolutely yes, but be patient with those slower response times until May hits. We are inviting some admissions reps to connect with you virtually this spring, so stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, you should start to see our website filling up with different virtual opportunities. So definitely reach out to those students and those administrators who are there to help you. Don't be afraid to lean on them, and of course, you can always lean on us. See you all next time.